Okay, so I am back, and I want to talk to you about the NCAA tournament, Wisconsin Badgers, and the state of Wisconsin. Oh boy. One thing is really exciting, and then two things are, oh, can we watch The Young and the Restless Austin? So there's a lot of great things going on in the NCAA tournament this year. Okay, we're in the Sweet 16 mode. Um, a lot of, a lot of, I wouldn't say surprises, but a lot of, you know, good things. Let's just call it that. Um, First off, Marquette, 11 years. Finally, finally, after all this time, we make it to the Sweet 16. Okay. I'm very proud of it. Shaka, you saved your job. Um, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. You know, you saved your job. You made it into the second week. So I think but keep on doing that every single year. That's what we strive for in Milwaukee. That's what we want to see in Milwaukee. So keep on doing that. They have a big test against NC State, who's really hot, and I think they can win that game on Friday night in Dallas. So that's the only thing I'll say about Marquette. Others, it's not really like I said. It's not really surprising. UConn, Houston, Duke, Purdue, and Eddie. Oh God, Eddie. Iowa State. Illinois. I wanted them to win 2 years ago, but they didn't. I don't know why. So yeah, I think it will be Houston against Marquette for Elite Eight. I think Iowa State's going to beat Illinois. I think UConn and Purdue are going to win, and then whoever else is left, they can win or whatever. I really don't know because I really just am focusing on Marquette. That's the only thing I'm focusing on. So let's go to the other half of Wisconsin basketball and my hair. Duh. My thing about Wisconsin, and I've said it before and I'll say it again about their program and the state of Wisconsin. It's like a big headache. I think if Wisconsin really wants to change things around, I think McLeish needs to fire Greg Gard. And I don't mean that literally, but I mean, not even fire him, but just give him an ultimatum. And I think that is the thing where a lot of people have been asking, well, what do you don't want him fired, but what do you want? I want him to give him an ultimatum. I want Greg Gard to coach. But the thing to coach the Badgers. But I think the thing that I am seeing, and I'm seeing it from a retired high school coach perspective, is that there's three things. One is stop running the swing offense. It's not 1997 in Platteville, Wisconsin. I mean, it isn't. We don't run that. The nation knows exactly what you're doing. Okay? Tom Izzo, Underwood, Chris Collins, I mean, all these coaches in the Big Ten, they can scout you in your sleep. In their sleep. I don't know why we're still running the swing offense almost 30 years ongoing. Why? And number two, you're losing recruits. Not just on your team, but in your recruiting pool. Like in your recruiting pool. Do you want people? You want to have a good program? Because obviously you don't. And I think that's sort of the message. Nobody wants to go to Madison and play a offense where I can design it even by talking about it. We're gonna pass it. You're gonna screen down, UCLA screen. You two guys are gonna exchange left and right. I mean, nobody does that. It's not Bo Ryan 2000 anymore. And he wasn't even at UW-Madison. He was at UW-Milwaukee in 2000. So, it's the contrast of that. We need to run, and that's the other thing that I want to get to when it comes to Wisconsin and Virginia. You guys need to be put on probation for what you did to fans in the NCAA tournament. Virginia, really? What, did we go to a musical? I mean, my golly, I could have watched The Young and the Restless than watch Colorado State versus Virginia and see Virginia not score a single point for 6 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it was. There are other great teams. There are other, not great teams, but there are other teams that could have been worthy enough to make it to the NCAA tournament, and that's sort of what I say to the NCAA committee. Wisconsin and Virginia, if they're gonna run this garbage offense and be so 1930s with James Naismith putting the basket, putting a soccer ball in a peach basket, then be my guest. But Seton Hall, St. John's, they could have been in. But no. And that's sort of the other thing about Wisconsin. About the state of Wisconsin in general. I have talked to many coaches throughout my 17 plus years of coaching and being a part of this game. The University of Wisconsin is losing relevancy. There's no relevance at all. Okay? And the thing that I want to say the most is, look at where, I remember when Bronson Kenyon, Zach Showalter, Josh Geyser, Sam Decker, Devin Harris, Michael Flowers, who really lived in your backyard at Madison Wafaulet. And Brian Butch, and the list goes on and on. Keith Ninkenville, who was also in your backyard. My point is this. Where's the in-state recruiting of the top players in the state of Wisconsin going? They're not going to the Badgers. I mean, Jalen Johnson, Duke. Connor Knippel, Duke. I can't even pronounce his name, so sorry. But the guy from Pewaukee went to Iowa State. These top recruits are not going to the Wisconsin Badgers just because, it's not just because of where your program is, because they don't want to play the style. And that's sort of the other thing that I will say. Look at the state tournament. Marquette, Worcester Lutheran, St. Thomas More, Mineral Point, and Columbus Catholic. They don't run that offense. So again, where is the relevancy in the state of Wisconsin? Nobody, there's no relevancy in Madison. When are we going to have it? So again, my final point is that if you want to continue to be the head coach at Madison or any other, you gotta understand is that this offense that you've been running since 1997 with Dick Bennett, it's not working. Like I said, the coaches that I mentioned, they can scout you in their sleep. It's not difficult. So, if you want to keep your job, I suggest you really think hard of who you're recruiting, of what offense you should be running. Okay? And third, what are you doing for the state? Because again, there's no relevancy. There isn't. Sure, as a Hall of Fame head coach like me, my dream is always to get my players to Madison. But I went to the state tournament. It was boring. And maybe because I don't know. But it was. So, alright, bye.